Now, I am a very poor journalist, missed every deadline in my entire career. Thankfully, I work with a very good journalist. And Brandy, the first rule of journalism, how many sources do you need? Two. I've got four. I've got four sources at the moment. So I've got this theory that's keeping me awake at night at the moment. I think that retrofitting is a thing at the moment. I think it's a developing trend. And the reason I think of that, because I drove past the Rove residences on JBR. That used to be a swanky boutique. Now Paul and the Rove team have turned it into a very swanky branded residences. You could say the same about Four Seasons, DIFC. Used to be office space, now a very, very nice hotel. We heard from Sir Tim a little earlier on this week. Aviation, they're retrofitting their planes at the moment because they just can't get enough new ones. We've just been speaking to the team from DIFC. Salman was talking about how they're going to reuse an existing space. So, is the supply and demand model suggesting, therefore, that because we just can't get enough supply at the moment to meet the demand, that you've got to use the space that you've got in front of you? I don't know. It's just a theory, but I need to ask somebody in the know. So how about someone with over 8 million square foot of renovated space, over 300 million of projects handled, dirhams that is, and over 100 vetted pre-qualified contractors on the platform? I'm talking Contractors Direct, and I'm talking now to the boss who's joining us live in studio. Dave Cook is the CEO, Chief Everything Officer of Contractors Direct. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to be back, guys.
So Tom's got a half-baked theory that retrofitting is picking up pace. Is he right?
I would say that's not half-baked. That is ready to pull out of the oven. You're pretty much on the money there.
We'll take that. We'll ice that one together a little later on. Is it something that has just come to my attention recently, or is it something that you've seen steadily building in recent times?
Retrofitting has always been around, just not in the large quantities and numbers that it is now. There's a shed load of commercial stock at the moment that has been around for a while, and businesses used to live there. So when they move out, often the landlords will request that it's left as is. And so, by very nature, when you're looking for commercial office, certainly a large percentage, more than half is what we're seeing, is already fitted out. So it's unlikely to be totally fit for purpose for what your business needs, but a light retrofit or medium-scale retrofit will get it ready for business use.
I need numbers, David, if I can. What are you seeing in terms of contracts or in terms of inquiries coming to your inbox at the moment? How many of them are new build? How many of them are retrofit?
So if we look at the commercial market first, it used to be that retrofitting fitted space was the exception, not the rule. But before I came in today, I had a quick look at what the last quarter was showing us. And 2 in 5 inquiries that come through the platform now, they are actively seeking fitted space because they do know that there is going to be a potential cost saving when it comes to the renovation. Not just the cost saving, the speed. The speed that you can, obviously, as long as it's a good quality fit out that you're inheriting, the speed that you can execute that, often you're saving weeks and months when compared to a full fit out from shell and core.
This might be semantics, but again, just in terms of clarification, because we've used a couple of terms talking about this throughout the week. Is a retrofit the same as a refit, or are they completely different?
They are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Essentially, what you're doing is taking out a lot of the old. So it generally tends to be decoration-based, final finishes, just making some adjustments to maybe the AC ducting, the MEP side of things. But it is usually keeping around about 30 to 40% of what was already there and changing the 60 to suit.
Okay, so if you and I have come together and we've decided that our cake is baked at the moment, let's work out why, the ingredients to this. Rental prices, is that influencing the decisions?
100%. 100%. I was reading an article yesterday, again, in preparation for this. And it was written by Robert from Cushman & Wakefield. And he was saying that the uptick year on year from 23 to the end of 24, a lot of the most popular communities like Barsha Heights, Dubai Silicon Oasis, JLT, certainly DIFC as well, you're looking at an average rental hike of about 30% across those. Obviously, some are higher, some are lower. But if you take a 5,000 square foot office. So this is a real case, by the way. So there's an old client of ours signed a lease in 2021. I won't say the community, but they were paying 200 dirhams a square foot. They signed a 3-year lease. The lease deal is up, and they're now being told that they have to pay 400 a square foot to stay there. So now they're obviously weighing up their options because they've gone from 1 million dirhams a year rent to 2 million dirhams a year rent. And now when they go outside of that community, it's mainland, they can choose from multiple different areas. They can get almost an extra 30 or 40% on the space for the same price. Now, if you didn't need that, again, just real world numbers, if you were going to move into that fitted space, if you like, the cost difference in that 5,000 square feet, if you go in and you retrofit it, it's going to cost you around about 600,000 to 800,000 dirhams, depending on how deep and how luxurious you go. That space, shell and core, you're looking at 1.5 to 2 million dirhams.
Wow.
So, and you know, if you read the Financial Times and, you know, you're obviously a very well-connected person, ask the business owners, 2024, you know, what was their net profit as far as percentage is concerned? Most of them are boasting only single-digit profit.
But that was going to be my question. I mean, surely, a lot of people will look at the business environment here and say, look, numbers are going through the roof, so things are great, the economy is booming, etc. Surely they're all wallowing in cash at the moment. Are they not?
A very small percentage of wallowing in cash. One thing I have seen in the last 12 to 24 months is there is a lot more liquidity in the market for investments. So VC cash, private equity cash, that kind of stuff. So there is money available, but it's not necessarily coming from profits.
Yeah.
Which, again, is quite dangerous.
Not the money to spend. What about the stock, though? Because, again, we're seeing the city widen out. We're seeing the influence and the sphere of the city widening. Is there just not the stock on the market at the moment?
There hasn't been the stock on the market for well over a year.
Wow.
You know, there are large international blue chip companies that only want to go into certain particular types of buildings, which is understandable. And they have to wait. You know, they're waiting 6, 12, 18 months for someone to hand their notice in so that they know that they've got space. The only other option is to go into not a premium building, but maybe a next tier down. Of course, you're going to benefit from the potential lower rents, but usually it comes with parking issues, logistic issues, quality issues, and all of that kind of stuff.
David, I've got 1 minute left with you. Let's just look to the future if we can. Okay, let's say it's a trend at the moment. You're seeing more inquiries, you saw more interest. We're seeing more evidence of it as well. Is this set to continue? And do clients, do companies, do organisations need to get a little bit more creative about existing space and what could be possible?
So if you look at the nature of the beast, almost every single commercial building and piece of real estate that's worth being in is already habited. So they're going to move out. That space will inherently remain fitted for the next person. So retrofitting, I think, is only going to keep increasing. And I'm very much expecting by the end of 2025, at the moment, 2 in 3 are looking at retrofitting as far as our client inquiries are concerned. I'm expecting that to be 3 in 5. Maybe even 4 and 5 by the time we get halfway through 2026.
Can only be good for the Chief Everything Officer of Contractors Direct and all that follow. David, thank you so much indeed. Enjoy your weekend and Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you very much, Ramadan Kareem.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.